morning, ladies and gentlemen. Read the board, especially the black part, and figure it out. Let's go right now. Get with the partner. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You can't be sitting alone because then you're not working with somebody. Find a partner. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I think this might be like, you know when people say, oh, blah, blah, blah. I saw it.
Oh. Jack, Michaela, you got to get together because you've got to be partners because you're the only two who are sitting single. So move your stuff so that you're sitting with your partner. You just got ditched. Steven, who are you working with? Then you and Irvin get to a seat together. Let's go. Pierce, who are you working with? Then come on up here. You're working with Joshua. See, this is the part where it's amazing to me. You guys are high school, juniors, seniors, some of you may be sophomores, and you can't follow a simple instruction like sit with your lab partner for today. Come on, let's go. You're slowing us down, and we got a lot to do. We got a lot to do. There you go. That's for you. 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 There you go. This is for you. There you go. This is for you. There you go. That's for you. No!
Oh, you're close enough. That's good.
That's for you. There you go. That's for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today's lab requires you to collect data as a class together. So that is what these cards are for, ladies and gentlemen. These cards tell you what volumes of the solutions you're going to be using in today's lab. So when you go in the lab today, you need to go to the station that has the same color card at it. That is the station that you will be working at. Now, there is an orange station for the orange card on each side of the room. I don't care which one you go to. Okay? But you have to go to the station where your stuff is at. Otherwise, we're going to run out of chemicals at the station if you just go wherever you want. Okay? Now, what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is a little bit of pre-lab work here. So, right now, ladies and gentlemen, each and every one of you is going to work this problem with your partner who is sitting next to you. Find the mass of the precipitate formed when 10 milliliters of 0.05 molar lead 2 nitrate is used. Here's your balanced chemical equation. Here's the precipitate. We are using 10 milliliters of 0.5 molar lead nitrate. Figure out how many grams of lead iodide will be formed. Go.
Can you turn the lights on?
10 milliliters.
Thank you.
And I'm asking you to go all the way to the mass of lead iodide, please.
Because then I'll just cancel out. Okay, mother here. And that's what we're trying to find. What else?
Because we need this one.
What do you do?
We need this one.
Grants.
Yeah, I think, yeah. But that would mean that we're just covered because one is just scheduled.
Okay, so then, I think we have to get this over here. This thing right here. That way, whatever, you have to put this into the mass over here.
Oh, yeah.
This should still work. Foot. And then
Because we're using the ruler. So this has to do it. To cancel out these.
that's the one he gave us.
And then we could just put the whole. Is that just like the take it every?
Oh,
I think so.
okay. I'm excited. It's just because this looks good.
So it's this one, and then this one. Yeah. So then this would be.
Yes.
Then what do you want? Does it have one? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the system. No,
I'm pretty sure you do the ratio thing.
No.
So you do the ratio thing.
It's not 9.
And then this, then that's add would be 2. Wait, understand that's it. That's it. Look at it. So you do the ratio thing.
Okay, so we got the
Ratio thing. Oh, and then I got to put a gram on the top. Yeah, but the thing is, no, I feel like, okay, this is but the way that she did yesterday, we put it into units first, and then we put it into grams, and we found out what the limiting reactant.
Why you two?
So that's what I'm just saying. Like, I don't know how this would make sense if they really can see that. Yeah, and then when we do the first grams with people, I mean, when we put it into, well, no, yeah, when we put it into grams, we have to put the mold of a rubber we were gonna put on top.
Like this. Well, that's right.
So, okay, so yes, we put that one on the bottom. Yes. We put that and the one more on the bottom. 50 grams for
Mr. Brandon?
then it would work. Well, we would do the formula mass.
Yes, I do.
We do the
Sure. Okay, bye. Skylar, you need to go down to the career center. Yes, they asked for you.
Okay, who had the green card? Who had the green card? Who else had the green card? Who had the other green card? Good. All right. Give me now your volume of on there for sodium iodide or for lead nitrate was 10, correct? Okay, good. Actually, you all had 10, correct? Good. Somebody give me the number. How many grams of precipitate would you have gotten? Give me the number. Come on, you all calculated the exact same calculation. Give me the number. 2.305. Did someone else get that? Yeah. Good, because you all should have. Every one of you should have gotten that same number. Now, you're all going to have different numbers for this next calculation that you are going to do. For the next calculation, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to take and use this formula, but now you are going to use the volume that is on your sheet. You all have different volumes of NaI. Some of you have 5, some of you have 10, some of you have 15, some of you have 20, some of you have 25, some of you have 30. Calculate how many grams of precipitate would be formed with your volume of solution. Your ratio is going to be different here. Be careful. So while your steps will be the same, your volume at the start will be different, and the ratio step will be different because you are using a different reactant to the same product.
Wait.
welcome. So the beginning of this problem will be different because you'll all have different volumes. The ratio step will be different, but converting to grams will be the same because we are going to the same substance. Who's got their calculation done? Anyone, calculation done. All right, green card. What do you got? Maddie, what did you get?
0.187.
Okay. Faith, what did you get? Come on, I need an answer. Get it. Who has the 10 milliliters of sodium iodide? What color card? Yellow. What'd you get? What? No. Oh my gosh, no. Who has the other yellow? Who has the other yellow? What'd you get? Come on, let's go. You guys are making it so we're not going to get the lab done today. And by the way, Maddie, recheck yours because that isn't right. Recheck yours. Who's got the 15? Red. What do you got?
1.73
1.7 what? 3 grams. Who has the other red? Who has the other red? Who has the other red? What do you got?
We got it wrong.
How do you know? Maybe they got it wrong.
2.305.
Really?
Yeah.
You were right. You got it wrong. Who's got the 20? Okay, what do you got? We'll start with Joshua and Jaden. 1 point what?
4091 grams.
What did you guys get?
Well, we got 2.998 grams.
All right, 25.
Oh, we got 2.88.
2.88. Who had the other? What color card did you have?
Blue.
Blue, who had the other blue? It's not that difficult. Somebody has a blue card. Who has it? What? 2.8. Okay. Let's go with the red pink card. There's only one of you out there because I have the other. Who has that? 1.12 grams. 1.12. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, my hopes for you doing anything other than failing the test have just gone out the window. Literally just gone out the window. Okay? So, let's see if we can help you along the way here, ladies and gentlemen. So, all right. Angel, what was your volume? Come on. What was your volume?
10.0.
How do you write that as liters?
0. Wait, no, 15. Never mind. 15. I'll look at it.
Well, let's go. 15 milliliters.
0.015.
0.015. That's 15 milliliters?
Oh, wait up.
Liter.
Or liters, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the next thing that we take at times? Come on. 0.500 moles over liter. What is the next step, Josie, Phoebe?
Molaration.
Which is
1 mole over 2 moles.
1 mole of PBI.
And then that equals 0.
Slow down.
Well,
Over 2 moles of NaI. I don't care what that equals right now.
Okay.
What is the last step that we will do on this?
Convert to grams.
How? What do we do?
461 grams on top
Of
of
1 mole.
1 mole.
Jaden, what can I do for you, sir?
We should got it too low. So we actually got 2.8.
Okay. Okay, hold on. So, this is the calculation that you all need to do. The only thing that changes in this entire calculation is this right here, ladies and gentlemen. If you have 5 milliliters, 0.005. If you have 25, 0.025. If you have 30, 0.030. Please do this calculation and get me some answers, ladies and gentlemen. Who's got theirs? Pierce, what do you got? Which one? Please tell me. I don't remember which volume it was. Please tell me your volume. Okay, what do you got?
3.34 grams.
How much?
3.34.
3.34. Did the other yellow card get that? Did the other yellow card get that?
No.
What did you get?
0.835.
I have no idea what you're doing with your calculators, ladies and gentlemen. 0.010 times 0.5 times 461 divided by 2. Do that math in your calculator. What did you come up with, Stephen?
Oh, I got it. 172.
What did you get? Okay. Can someone please give me a number they have any confidence in? Shenza.
We got 25.
Okay.
2.88 grams.
Oops, sorry. I'm erasing things. So what do you got, Shenza?
2.88 grams.
Good. The other card, did you get the same?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What one do you have, Eric?
We have the 20 milliliters.
What did you get?
We got 2.31 grams.
Better. How about the 15?
1.73 grams.
How about the 10?
1.728.
1 point what?
728.
Can't be. You can't have the same number as the 15 grams. It is impossible for two different volumes to have the same mass of precipitate produced, correct? Okay. Anybody for the 5 milliliter? Thank you. That is much better. And finally, the 30. There's only one group, so you got to tell me.
3.45 grams.
Now, tell me this, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at these numbers, what do you notice?
They go up
They go up. They go up. Good. Why?
based off the volume.
Based off the volume. What do you notice about these two numbers?
Practically double.
It is doubled. It is doubled. Okay? With a little rounding. But think about it. If we use 5 milliliters and 10 milliliters, what are we doing to our amount? Doubling it. So these numbers should be doubled. What should these numbers be? Double. What should these numbers be? Triple. Very good. Now again, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, don't mean to be cranky, but you're killing me this morning. Okay? So if we can't do the calculation correctly, when I've given it to you, we got problems, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? I don't know how you will have any confidence in doing a calculation on your own. But here's the thing. Again, gave you a bunch of time yesterday. Some of you get together and you chit-chat and you get nothing done. And then we come here and we need you to do it and you can't. You can't. Okay? Good. These are the numbers we needed to see. Very good. Okay? Now, what was the volume or the amount produced from the PbNO3? Everybody got the same amount. How much was it? 10. No. Well, your volume is correct. Yes. I want to know how many grams of precipitate we got produced. 2.31 grams for the 10 milliliters. Okay? That's what we got. Correct? So now we are going to mix these two together. Some of you are going to use 5 milliliters, some 10, some 15, some 20, some 25, some 30. How do we figure out the limiting reactant?
The one that's less.
Thank you. So you tell me, this is what you all get for lead nitrate because you all use the same amount, correct? When is lead nitrate your limiting reactant?
If it's the lesser number.
Okay, when is it the lesser number?
The volume high.
Look at your numbers.
That's less.
Is there anything that stands out about this number with any of
It's the
these?
same as the 20.
Right here and here are the exact what?
Same.
Same. What does that mean for that one trial? Which one do you run out of first? What? You run out of both. Literally, that's the perfect reaction. Both reactions can only produce 2.31 grams. Both. Guess what? There is no limiting reactant there. They're both limiting, you could say. They both get used up at exactly the same time. Now, when is this one going to be the limiting reactant? On the 25 and the 30. On the 25 and the 30, this is going to be the limiting reactant. Why? Because you make less of it. So what if we're below 20?
That's the, it's not the,
Which means
yeah, it's the limiting reaction.
the NaI
Okay, sorry, my bad.
is the limiting reactant here, here, and here. and this is how many grams you are going to be producing. Okay? Now, you're going to need your calculation for the questions part. Okay? You're also going to need to understand what we just gave you. Because, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, actually, after tomorrow, when you're done collecting your data, then I can fill in this table for you. But this table says, here are the moles that we can produce. Here is the mass that we can produce. What do you notice about the mass? It stops doing what? Why? Because we can't make any more. We have reached our true limiting reactant. And let me make this a little bit smaller, ladies and gentlemen, because then you can see the last one. Early in the lab, what's the limiting reactant? The NaI at small volumes. Later in the lab, what becomes the limiting reactant? The PbNO3, the lead nitrate. So we should never go higher than 2.31 grams of precipitate produced. Never. Now, you are going to do the lab. You're going to figure out how many grams you get, and I'm going to put your numbers in here. Now, I will tell you right now, who's got the 5 milliliter? You should only get 0.576 grams. Don't mess up. That ain't a lot. Okay? You need to collect every little bit of sample that you can. Here, you got 2.31 grams. You got a lot more to collect. But hey, guess what? Don't mess up your filter paper and clog it up with all this precipitate, or you're not going to get done today. Let me explain and let me show you what you're going to do. Open up the lab, ladies and gentlemen. It is the limiting reactant lab in Google Classroom. Okay? Click on it, and it looks like this. You are going to experimentally determine the grams of precipitate in a double replacement reaction shown below to find the limiting reactant in each trial. Now, we are going to take all of our numbers and put them together. So Maddie and Caden are doing 5 milliliters, but somebody else is doing 5 milliliters too. Who else was it? Faith and Skylar. We're going to put your numbers together and we're going to average them out. So hopefully if you guys make any mistakes, they're the opposite mistakes these guys make, and we'll still get a good average between you. If not, you know what? Maybe the lab just didn't work out. Maybe things just weren't the way we wanted them to. But we're going to find out. And you now have an idea of how many grams you should be collecting in the end, correct? Questions? Okay. Now, bunch of techniques in this lab. The lab doesn't take long, but there's a bunch of techniques, ladies and gentlemen. So at your station, there is a red pipette bulb. This only gets used with the sodium iodide that is marked in red on the container. Only gets used with it. Don't take this and put it into the other one. If you do, I'm going to know immediately because bright yellow precipitate is going to form in here. And I'll know you messed up. Don't do it. The green bulb goes with the lead nitrate. All of you are going to use 10 milliliters of this. I will show you how to use these in just a minute. Okay? In your lab, one of the first things that you're going to do, other than making observations of those two things, you're going to grab one of my chalk markers from in the middle. You are going to take your beaker and you are going to put your initials or your name or something on it, because overnight it's going in a drying oven. And tomorrow morning, when you come into class, you have to be able to find your sample or you cannot get your final mass. So you're going to have to put your mark on here so you know which one is yours. Now, if you then go and finger this all up and rub that off, that's going to be a problem. Why do I do this right away? Because I'm now going to find the mass of this container. And if I don't write on it, guess what happens after I write on it? The mass goes up. And if you're talking about 0.576 grams, who knows how much it's going to go up from writing on it. So let's do it right away. Second thing you're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is you are going to find the mass of a piece of filter paper. At your station, there is a box full of these little pieces of filter paper. You're going to put it on the balance, and you are going to find the mass of the filter paper. You're going to find the mass of the beaker. Those go down here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Mass of the beaker with name on it, mass of the filter paper, and also tell me what volume you had. I won't know. So what volume of sodium iodide? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Put units by these things, ladies and gentlemen. I have no units by them. None. Put units by them. Okay? Tomorrow, you're going to take the mass of your dry sample, the beaker, and the filter paper all together. And I will show you what I mean by that. And from that, we're going to find the mass of the dry sample. That's the number that you just calculated. That's how many grams you should be getting. Questions? Okay. So to start the lab, ladies and gentlemen, after you have found those masses, you're going to take and you're going to make some observations of the lead nitrate and the sodium iodide. Don't touch them. You can smell them. You can look at them. That's it. No tasting, no touching. And you're not going to hear anything. Now, the way that these things work, ladies and gentlemen, they are designed to pull your solution up into a marked off cylinder. Pipette, actually. This one is easy. Why? It's for 10 milliliters. But it starts at 9 and goes down to 0. So when you go from here to 0, you are actually putting in 10 milliliters in there. And the way it works is you put it into the solution and you turn this dial at the top, and it will pull the solution up into the pipette for you until you get to exactly 10. So at the 0. Now you take this, go to your container, and you press this button at the top, and it will dispense it into your container for you. 10 milliliters exactly. Okay? Exactly. Now you are going to do the same with this one. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, because you are working with different amounts, I cannot have different ones of these for you. I don't have them. And this one, 0 is at the top, and it goes down to 25. So guess what? You're going to fill it all the way up. And then if you only need to put 5 milliliters in, you press it until this goes down to 5. You get one shot. Don't mess it up. You put in too much, you put in too much. Stop at your number. So when you press this button, you let it go until it gets close to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. By the way, if you got 30, go all the way down to the 25, put it into the container, pull up 5 more, pull it up again, add 5 more milliliters. You've got to do it twice. Okay? So you put this in. As I turn the handle, it goes up and up and up. If you get too much, you could push the dial the other direction, or you could lift it up and let some out. Okay? Once you have it, you come over to your container, and now I'm going to dispense until I get to whatever volume. I'm going to go to 10. Stop. Good. Got it. Put the rest back in here. Now, what happened in my container? Turned bright yellow. So guess what's going to happen if you take this pipette and dip it into the wrong one? It's going to turn bright yellow in there. What's worse is if you get it into my container here, that's going to turn bright yellow, and I don't have enough for you to do the lab anymore. So please be careful. Let this sit right there. This is now ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, you have made your precipitate. What color is your precipitate? Bright yellow. Describe what happened in the reaction. Okay? Now what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to take my filter paper that I masked and I'm going to get it set up. To use filter paper, you take and you fold it in half twice. Once it looks like a semicircle. Twice it looks like a quarter of a circle. Okay? You're then going to put your funnel into your beaker or your flask. This is for your waste materials. This is the stuff I don't care about. Okay? To do the filter paper, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 flaps here. You put 3 on one side and 1 on the other. 3 on one side, 1 on the other. You put this into your funnel. You grab the wash bottle, which has deionized water in it, and you rinse it so that it will stick to the funnel. The water will keep it from collapsing on itself. It will adhere it to the sides of the glass funnel, and the water will drip through the bottom with the rest of the waste we don't need. Now, as this sits for a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, you have made your observations. As it sits, you are going to notice that the solid is going to go settle down to the bottom. That's what we want. Because then what we're going to do is we want the precipitate. But what else is in there?
Say louder. What do you got to lose?
Solid.
That's what we want, though. That's this. But what else is in there still? This stuff. We don't want this stuff. Why? Because it has mass. We don't want this stuff. But you know what? This stuff is dissolved in the water in there still. And guess what? Because it's dissolved in the water, it will go right through the filter paper with the water. The filter paper will only catch larger solids. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, my job now is to rinse this stuff away so that in that container is only this stuff. Okay? Now, if you've got 5 milliliters, you're in good shape. You know why? There isn't a lot of this stuff. You should be able to get it pretty good by rinsing it. If you have more of this stuff, it's going to take longer. It's going to take longer. Okay? So, it has started to settle to the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. I'm now going to do a process called decanting. I'm going to take and get just the liquid off. I do not want to dump all of this in there. It will plug up the filter paper and it will make it so that it doesn't drain through quickly at all. So I'm going to pour this in there to try to just pour off the water that's on the top. Now, am I getting some yellow stuff in there? Yes, absolutely. But when you start to see all the stuff that's sitting on the bottom working its way up the edge to where it's going to go into your paper, stop. Stop. This is now going to filter that out. Now, I still have solid in here and I still have that solution in here, right? And that solution has these ions in it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wash bottle. I'm going to add a little water. Not a lot. A little bit to rinse it down. A little bit to get those ions into that water again to get rid of them. But if you put too much water in here, guess what? You got to filter it all out. So you're waiting for it to filter. While it's filtering, I let this settle. Again, the longer you can let it settle, the more solid will go to the bottom, the less will be there when you're pouring it out. And you will notice this as you're doing it. It's hard for me to show it to you because I'm up here and you're out there. You will notice it as you're doing it. Okay? You guys, because you have 5, the groups that have 10, you may get 3 or 4 rinses done. Which is good because you got to get all the other stuff out because a little bit of mass is going to affect you more because you're only collecting 0.5, maybe 1.5 grams. But if you got 2.31, well, you know what? Maybe a little bit of extra mass in there isn't going to hurt you as much. Because maybe it's an extra 1/10 compared to 2 grams versus an extra 1/10 compared to 0.5 grams. An extra 1/10 compared to 0.5 grams is 20%. That's huge. An extra 1/10 compared to 2.3, that is about 5%. 20%, 5%, big difference, right? Okay? So again, Filter paper is fairly empty. This has started to settle down. I'm going to pour this out. I'm going to pour near the lip of the beaker. I'm trying to keep the solid in. When I see it starting to get near the edge, I stop. Rinse it down again. Go through the same process. Get as many rinses as you can done. Okay? Now, in the end, you're going to have mostly solid left in here. There is going to be a little water. You're going to have this filter paper. You're going to take this filter paper. You're going to throw it in here. You're going to bring it to me. I'm going to put it in a drying oven overnight for you. Tomorrow morning when you come in, it will look like this. A dry piece of filter paper with that solid still in it and dry solid on the bottom of this beaker. Tomorrow morning, you're going to find the mass of this. Then you're going to subtract the mass of the beaker, the mass of the paper. You will have your mass of precipitate. Hopefully, it comes out to near the number you just figured out. Okay? And then tomorrow, I'm going to take Skylar and Faith's number and put them with Caden and Maddie's number and get you an average. Okay? But I actually am going to do an all-class average for you, and then I'm going to do for my third and second hour together. So I can't give you the data yet tomorrow because I need to collect third hours as well. And then we will have 4 people who did the same sample for each one, hopefully. Or maybe 3 because we don't have an extra group to do this one. But we're trying to get you as much data as we can. Okay? This part has to get done today. Questions? Okay? So, real quick. When you're working with these, if you're having any issues with them, call me over. You need to make sure that they are sealed tight in there so there are no air leaks. If it is up like this, you need to push it down because they will only go so high. This is designed to pick up 25 milliliters. So if you start out with it halfway and then start using it, it's not going to allow you to pick it all up. Okay? This is the hard one because and again, you know, if you want to do, if you know this is 25 and you're supposed to put in 10 and you want to go up to 15 only, because you know 15 minus 25 or 25 minus 15 is 10, go for it. Go for it. Maddie, you look confused by that. So all I'm saying is you've got to find a way to use this to dispense your volume. If you want to go all the way up to 0 and go down to 5, that's fine. But you could also go up to 20, dispense down to 25, and you're still only putting 5 in. Okay? That's all I'm saying. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is much easier because this is set up to only pull up, well, it can go more than 10, but then you get into these negative numbers. You don't want to do that. When you pull it up to the 0 line, you are going to have exactly 10 milliliters in here. Take it over to your container, dispense that. My suggestion would be to do this one last. Why? It's the one that's easier to do. Get the hard one out of the way first. So in your lab today, ladies and gentlemen, this and this and this and this all get finished. What does the reaction look like when you mix the two together? We know it turned yellow. Describe anything else that happens. At least 3 observations. Right before we put it in the drying oven, you're going to take observations of what it looks like when it's wet. And then tomorrow, you'll finish up with what it looks like when it's dry. Okay? Can't do this today. Here, you can only do everything from here down to here. Can't do the mass of the dry sample. You can't do these last 2. My bad. You cannot do these last 2. Just these top 3. Questions? Your goggles are on the station. Everything is out. Please make sure you don't mix the 2 solutions, unless it's in your beaker. Otherwise, you are going to have problems. Go to the place where the card is the same color. You certainly can. Why aren't you going and getting a pair of goggles from the office?
I forgot. I wasn't thinking.
You weren't thinking today.
I'll do it.
How much did I charge you last time?
50 cents and I gave you 5 dimes. You remember that? You had a bird because I gave you 5 dimes.
Yeah. I'm meant
So
to break
today,
that.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 10 nickels. How's that? No? You're lucky. I have a few more quarters.
When you hear it. You got it?
When you do this, do not overload your filter paper. If you do, yellow will start leaking through into the bottom, and that's the stuff you are trying to save. Make sure you mark your, filter paper separate. Is it marked with your name on it? If not, don't mass it yet. I've got your stuff that I'm bringing you guys right now, your solutions. Yes. Oh, shoot. They printed in the reverse order. Okay. Give me these. Use the ones that I gave you at the station you were at. Where's yours? Bring it over here because it's a different volume than the one that's there. Sorry. Yours is the same?
Yeah, 25.
Okay, yours is the same?
Yeah.
Yours is the same? Okay, so good news. The only one I messed up was this station here. Okay? So bring yours, use yours. Sorry about that, guys. Okay? So, did anybody bring their cards back with them? I have yours now. If it's the same, that's fine. I went and picked the ones up that were at the desk. If you're at 0, you go down till you hit 15. Yes. Down till you hit 15. Thank you. Okay. Correct. Now, yes. But then when you put it in there, bring one side, one side. Okay. Taking your extra one here. Was yours here, or can I have yours? I grabbed the ones that were. Yep, and it's the same as this one, so that's why I went back, just so that I can give them to my classmates. Please remember, when you put the second solution in, don't stick the tip of the pipette down into the solution that is already in there. That will mess up your results. And your pipette. You're perfect right now. So all you do is put it into here. Okay, put it into there. And now as you turn this part right here, it will pull a solution up into your pipette. Okay? That's all you do. Oh.
Don't stick the tip of it in the 0, 40,
So when you guys do that one, you're gonna have to do it to 25 one time, and then you're gonna have to do an additional 5 with it, okay?
Oh, it's because I'm holding that.
I don't have one big enough for it to do 30 at once, sorry.
After you get everything into your beaker and you take some observations, if you would like to come over, I can show you the decanting a little bit better here, where it's a smaller group looking at it. Yes, sir. Yep. No, it means if you go from 0 down to 25, that's putting 25 in. With the other one, yes, it accounts for the tip. This one does not. So you got to go from 0 down to whatever number you're trying to put in there. Yes. Okay, so now put it in there. Spread it out like that.
How come you guys got 2 pieces of filter paper?
Oh my god, you're slow.
So now rinse it down. Try to stay near the top so that it gets wet at the top, and then work its way down. And then before you start actually decanting that stuff, you can put it down. Same as regular water. Actually, it's probably a little more boring because it doesn't have chlorine and some of those things. Why are you guys getting another one? Well, there's nothing wrong with those yet. You just need to find the mass of only one of them, and use only one of them. The wet residue will be what's in here before we put it in the drying oven. So now take the wash bottle and rinse this down so that it sticks to the edge. What? Come here. Okay. You see the water around the top? Watch as you go to the edge. Most of the solid stays down. So I'm going to pour until I see that solid start working its way up. And then stop. Okay? You can then rinse it down a little more. You should get this stuff back in. Well, if you put water on this, it'll stick to the sides and then it'll be better.
But should I put water in this?
No, not for the first. Not for the first. Now remember, you have to. You can go down as far as you want to, okay? So that you're for sure pulling up solution. Okay, we got a problem, all right. Yellow, look at the bottom. It's yellow. Mass another piece of filter paper. And the mass of another piece of filter paper.
Oh, here.
Okay? It happens sometimes. It happens sometimes. Probably not. So you're gonna have 2 masses of filter paper that we're gonna have. Oh, this is okay. So hand me that filter paper. Little seeds on. Hey, but you also need to be going to the left. Because you only got 12 minutes left. You're gonna have 2 masses of filter paper. In the end, you're just gonna have 1 big mass, but your mass is gonna include 2 pieces of filter paper. Correct. Both times. Both times. You're gonna have 2 pieces of filter paper. So now you can start filtering, doing that into here, and then hopefully we'll have time to take that stuff around.
Oh, how is this one?
Okay? It just sometimes it sneaks through. Sometimes it just happens. Yes. Yes, that's the stuff that you're catching. So, get rid of the water in there again. Now, here's the thing, when you do that right before you go in the cans, you just take all that stuff that's down to the bottom and mix it up again. So try to do that when you add the water, then let it sit, then decant. I'm sorry? Well, yes, I would let it sit. It doesn't take long, but you want a little bit of a clear layer. That's the stuff that you want around this. But just next time, when you rinse it down, swirl it around then, let it sit, then decant. When you add the water, that's when you swirl it around.
Okay, how we doing? Questions?
When you're done, ladies and gentlemen, can you please take your pipettes, put them over the bottle that you took the solution out, and push them down so that they are set for your next group.
He said there will be some water.
You got way too much going on.
Yeah, see, that was my problem. Yeah, we didn't go through that.
Weigh out another piece of filter paper. Well, you did something that caused most of it to go through because look at the water in mine and look at the water in yours. So here's what you're gonna have. You're gonna have 2 masses of filter paper. You're just gonna subtract both masses. 3 to one side, 1 to the other. Put it in there. Now take your water, your bottle right there in front of me, this one. Squirt it down. Squirt it all around. Go near the top though, because I want it to cling to the glass. In here. Okay. Now you can start filtering. Okay. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to continue to filter this. But then at the end, we're going to try to take that and run through that second piece. Okay? So that's the stuff we need. Yes. So now when you do it, try to up around the edge because this is what happens is it doesn't seal good. And then the stuff leaks around the seals. You can keep doing this. That you're going to need, yes. This one we're doing nothing with except at the end we're going to take that and run it through here. Did you wet down your filter paper and you're ready to go?
So did you add a bunch of water to this right away?
That was
You got 40.
Be all right.
Do you recommend that?
I would rinse it down one more time. Rinse it down this and all of that. And we'll do that one, yes.
Who called me?
Yeah, be ready. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
You're going to do this for another few minutes. You've got 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 7 minutes to get done. Yes. How can I help you?
How many times have you done it? Go ahead. You want to get as much out of there as you can.
A little bit of extra in there will make it. Plus, you've got some time.
Mr. Brennan, what should I do with this part?
That you're going to just leave it for now. And at the end, you're going to take that filter paper out, put it with the other filter paper, all into your media. Don't do this now. Okay. Do that. Run that through there.
Okay, that's what I should do.
So you're done with that. You're finished. You're going to have the other piece of filter paper on top. Okay? Take and rinse your funnel. When you're done, the stuff in your flask can go down the drain. Stuff in your flask can go down the drain. Stuff in your filter paper needs to stay.
You watched that.
What?
You watched it. Did you not?
Okay.
Did I go
You
fast?
need to do another sheet of filter paper.
So,
We
I don't know
can
what
get too much leakage through there.
I'm surprised.
Find the mass of another piece of filter paper. Why?
I did it again. I literally, Phoebe watched me the whole time like a hawk. I did not go fast. And literally pushed the tiniest couple of drops in the end.
Your flask gets rinsed. Your funnel gets rinsed and it stays sitting at your station. Okay. So you're gonna take and filter that through there. Take the filter paper that's in there, throw it in here. All that's gonna happen is you're gonna have two pieces of filter paper. Run that stuff through there again, and then rinse it out. How many times have you rinsed it down? That seems pretty good. Take your filter paper, throw it inside there. Nope, leave this. Just set up a new one, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna rinse this stuff through that filter paper. Okay? So put that in there, rinse it down again. Try to get a little more water out of there. Okay? And then we'll run this through there, and all you're gonna do is throw two pieces of filter paper in the beaker at the end. So you're gonna have to subtract the masses of two pieces of filter paper. Put it in there. Give it to me. I'll put it in the oven. That stuff, rinse in the sink, and then leave it sitting there. We got 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, because we're out at 22, correct?
Yeah.
Run that through one time. That's all you're gonna have time. Run that through. Hopefully not much more yellow gets in there, and then we're gonna see how we do servo. Just set it back on the table there, please. We're gonna run that through there. Together and bring us in. What? Grab there.
I know, me too. It's like,
You're not gonna inside. You're gonna have to just go with what you got. That's why you gotta do it slowly.
we did it slowly. We did it slowly.
Rinse that, rinse that. That through. Okay, what you got? Yep. Nope. Put that in there. As soon as that's done dripping, give that, put that in there and just take that up. You're not gonna have time. You're not gonna have time. We're gonna have to go with what we got. Okay? You put that bottle back right here. That's why you can't. It's gonna have to be filter paper in there. As soon as that drips, put your filter paper in there, give it to me. If you want to know what it is. That's why you gotta listen. Put your marker back. 15 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Guess we'll see how good you do. take it, put it in with the thing, rinse the beaker and that, rinse both of those out in their funnels. Leave one here, put one over there. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take that. Yep, rinse out in the sink with tap water. Rinse it. Rinse it. Leave them there.
Adios.
Go, I got it. Go. Go.
Is he hugging mango?
That was tragic.
Brenda, really? Bro, I told you, wait. I was telling you, go back. I didn't get back to back. I'm through a word.
Awesome.
You got that exotic ass, shiny ass. Madre, like that's what shiny as hell. Pues yo todo el tiempo para hablar con pendejadas. Bro, no my stuff, man. Así que.
It was fine though. They're very good.
I know.
Oh my god.
No, see, ours, the only one that you're not like for. So everyone else had like.
Thank you.
Yeah. You should take it. It's like it's literally, bro. Wait.
She's gone.
All right.
Good morning. How are we doing today?
Pretty good.
Wonderful.